And we are back, folks. Aye. So last night I decided to make some spring rolls. I had some phyllo pastry that I took out the freezer. I got all my stuff ready. I got all my veggies chopped, got my wee bits of ham chopped, my chicken chopped, my spring onions chopped, got everything all ready. Got my garlic ready, my ginger ready, everything was all prepared. Then I opened the phyllo pastry and it was all crumbly, it all just fell apart. So I don't know if that was down to the freezer. I've had phyllo pastry in the freezer before with no hassle. So I don't know if it was down to the freezer or if it was down to when it was in the shop. So at 1 o'clock in the morning, maybe even half one, I took a crash course in making my own wraps. So they're in this bag. I just stuck them in the fridge last night, but I didn't oil them in between or flour them, so they could be all stuck together. Who knows? We'll not know until we get to that stage. So we've got our pan heating up. We've got the old chef spoon ready. So I'm going to get the veggies on. Get the veggies cooked up. That's what we'll be using in the veggies for the filling. So I sort the spring roll filling. Some dark soy, some oyster sauce, some chilli sauce, some salt, some white pepper, and I've got this kind of Chinese spice grinder. I'm guessing it's a kind of 5 spice that you grind up yourself. I'll get my wee bit of flour and water for glue, and what I'll probably do is I'll probably just make one in the fryer just to see if they turn out. If they don't turn out, I'll just use the mix for something else, maybe a stir fryer, bung it in with noodles or whatever, but I'm not going to waste it off, you know what I mean, if one doesn't turn it. So aye, let's do this. Get you situated there. Don't know how the light will be, it might not be too good. So what I can do is, I can get the old lamp moved, possibly. Don't know if that's any better, it might be better. And we'll get in with the veggies. I've got them in this jar, had them in a big bowl. Pardon me. We'll get in with the garlic and ginger first. We'll grab a spoon. Might be a wee bit too much oil in that. We'll just leave it. We'll see how we go. Right, so we're going to get in with about a tablespoon of garlic. And the same of ginger. And we'll get that frying up. Oh, lovely smell. Lovely smells already. Love it. I'll get the old spoon. We'll just get a tiny wee bit of colour on the garlic and ginger. And then we'll get into the veg. So the veg will probably take a good while because there's quite a lot of it. It'll probably take a good while to cook down, so there'll be a wee bit of stopping and starting in this video, as usual. We'll go to stops and starts. So there might also be I've got some wee frozen prawns in the freezer, so I might add some of them as well. Right, that'll do that. Oh, I love that smell. Right, we'll get into the veg. So the veg is cabbage, a bit of green pepper, a bit of yellow pepper, a bit of red pepper. So this will take ages to cook down. Ages, but it will get there. And carrot, cabbage, red, yellow and green pepper and carrot. And we'll not add anything else until this is all halved in size or even more. So aye, what's been happening? Craziness, we're bloody at Friday already. I said that to you in my last video. Before you know it, we'll be back at Friday. And that's us back at, I don't know where the weeks go, the weeks just fly by these days. Absolutely fly by. I'm just getting the garlic and ginger mixed through all the veg. Lovely colours, look at the colours. Lovely and colourful. These are wee, look at the colours in there, absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Lovely colourful pan full of veg. So aye, what's been happening? Mrs Tracy's cooking allotments. Made a nice bit of, almost a kind of chow mein type affair. As usual. Two tier toes wasn't happy with how she cooked her noodles, but I'm going to have to tell him that that's how I cook my noodles and that's how I've always cooked my noodles. I don't ever boil them, I don't do what Tracy did right enough. I leave them on the pot, turn the heat off and stick the noodles in and just leave them for about 5-10 minutes and jobs are good in. Absolutely perfect, none of this boiling them up for 15 minutes. Sarcy only boils up for 2 minutes, but that's a load of codswallop, as we all know. We've seen him in action. As you can see, that's already starting to cook down a wee bit. It'll take a good while. So, our chicken and noodles look really nice. I would agree with Polsky, a wee bit of spring onion on top might have been nice wee garnish. She could have went the whole hog, got a big carrot and carved out a nice flower or a nice butterfly to sit on it. I love all that, see all that Asian vegetable carving, I love all that stuff. I can do a wee bit of it, but it takes ages. And I've not got the right knives anymore. I used to have a cracking wee carving knife that was ideal for it. Doing it with a big kitchen knife just doesn't work. What else have I seen? Aye, so Sarge, he made bangers and mash, and it was nice to see him make mashed potatoes that are almost as good as mine. Instead of that utterly ridiculous potato glue that he usually makes, which, let's be honest folks, is garbage. Anybody that says that looks good is insane. And as I said to him in my comment, any chef in a restaurant or whatever that would let somebody make potatoes like that isn't they're a clown chef, the clown world, because no real chef would allow that. The only way you get tip top, almost mitchy potatoes is just make your mash as normal and push them through a really fine sieve 2, 3, even 4 times, tons and tons and tons of butter. But I like old school mash, real mash, bit of mustard, bit of white pepper, wee bit of salt, wee bit of nutmeg, old school mash, wee bit of milk, or cream if you've got it. I've never got cream. Who buys cream apart from Sal? Mrs Tracy probably has, she's probably got a fridge full of cream right enough, but I never have cream. So wee splash of milk, bit of mustard, Dijon, English, grain mustard, whatever mustard you've got, white pepper, salt, wee pinch of nutmeg, jobs are good in. But anyway, it was nice to see him no making the potato glue, it really was. And I think even he would probably agree, well he won't agree, because you know Sarge, he'll be quite happy with his potato glue at work. It doesn't matter what size of liquidizer you've got or what size of pot you're using, at the end of the day you're still making rubbish, substandard mashed potato. So, as far as I'm concerned, Sarge, that argument's closed. There isn't any argument really, but I'm never going to mention your potato glue again. Well, I say that, I'll probably mention it all the time still. Right, so I'm going to let this cook down a wee bit. Oh, his gravy, wasn't a fan of his gravy. Sausage looked nice, his onions looked alright. Wasn't a fan of his gravy. But there you go. Sure he enjoyed it. As he always saying, you're eating it, I'm eating it, no you. So there you go. Right, I'm going to get back to these when this is cooked in a bit, folks. Right folks, we're back again. So you can see that's cooked in a good bit. I've added some salt, some white pepper, and I've added a good bit of this stuff, and this stuff is absolutely bloody gorgeous. Chinese spice grinder, and see the smell, see as soon as I added it and mixed it, see the smell, oh, I might actually start adding a wee bit of that to my fried rice. That was at the back of the cupboard, it's been at the back of the cupboard for I don't know how long, but really nice. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get in with a wee splash of chilli sauce, about a tablespoon. We're going to go in with about the same amount of dark soy, a wee bit more, in with dark soy. That's full fat dark soy, trace, full fat stuff. And we'll get in with some oyster sauce, about a tablespoon or two oyster sauce. That'll do that. And we'll just get that mixed in. It smells absolutely bloody gorgeous already. I could actually just eat this now, take it like a bit of rice. As I say, if the spring rolls don't turn it, I might actually end up just serving this up with some noodles. Once it's ready with the bits of chicken, it smells amazing. It smells absolutely bloody amazing. Bloody gorgeous. So we'll let that sit for a wee minute, and then we'll get our ham, our chicken, and our ham, chicken, and maybe a few prawns, maybe a wee handful of prawns. When I remember spring rolls when I was a wee guy for the Chinese, there was like Szechuan pork in it, shredded, and prawns, and sometimes ham, sometimes chicken. And basically it was mostly all filled with bean sprouts. Couldn't get any bean sprouts, but they're not a biggie. The cabbage will do the job with the bean sprouts. Smells absolutely gorgeous, folks, I'm not going to lie. I see, I could actually just have that with some noodles and it would be absolutely lovely. So in we're going to go next to the chicken, I think. I've got some spring onions, they'll go in last. Get a couple of spring onions chopped, they'll go in last. Right, we're going to get our chicken in. This is just chicken that I cooked up last night, and then just chopped it up into wee bits. This is just your bog standard ham. Get that in, that'll break up in the mix. Absolutely gorgeous. Wish you could smell this. I really do wish you could smell this because it smells amazing. And break up the wee bits of ham. If you don't break up, they don't break up. No biggie. No biggie. Don't mind chunks. So there's quite a lot there. I might actually have too much. So I might end up keeping some of that and actually just having it with some noodles. That's what I might do. But we'll see. As I say, we'll see how the first. I'm going to just make one spring roll. See how it turns out. If it turns out good, then I'll make the rest. If it doesn't turn out, then I'll be pissed off and I won't make the rest. But we'll get me some prawns, I think. Just frozen, wee frozen prawns. Oh, pardon me. That's plenty. Just a wee amount of prawns. I'll make a nice prawn sandwich with the rest after. Or maybe add up to some fried rice, possibly. Perfectly fine to add frozen prawns, don't be worried. They'll soon defrost and cook through. They're already cooked them. They'll soon defrost and heat up, should I say. smells absolutely gorgeous. So in your spring roll you're going to get a wee bit of chicken, a wee bit of ham, a wee prawn. Absolutely gorgeous. Now folks, I'm going to let that cook a wee bit longer and I'll get back to you shortly. Right. Right folks, we're back again, so it's been cooked down a wee bit. Prawns are looking well, it smells amazing. You can smell the prawns, the chicken, or the Chinese spices, absolutely gorgeous. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get in there a bit of corn flour. And this will thicken up any moisture. That's about a tablespoon of corn flour, maybe not even a tablespoon. And that will thicken up any moisture that's in there. Any moisture that's came out of the prawns or the chicken or the ham. There's the old phone going mental. Who that is. Somebody annoying. Keeping my wee ma, she's no annoying. See, that's already trapping any moisture. I'll be getting me another wee touch. Might as well, it's the last. Oh, there's nothing left, there we go. There you go. That's the last of my corn flour. Need to get that on the shopping list. You can see there's no moisture at the bottom of the pan, that's a good sign. Can you see, look, there's no moisture, there's no puddles. That corn starch is, what should I say, corn flour, we call it corn flour, has absorbed any moisture in there and thickened it up. I'm going to let that cook a wee couple of minutes longer, and then I'm going to turn it off because it's got to be cool. So I might make this a part 2. This might be a part 2. This might be a part 2. But I'm not joking, it smells absolutely amazing. And I could easily just have that with a big bit of rice or some noodles right now. And you can see that's all nice and clumpy, all nice and thick. I'll give that a wee minute and then we'll get it off the heat and start to get it cooling. So I'll get back to these. Right, folks, I'm already back to these because I forgot to put the spring onions in, didn't I? So we'll get the spring onions in. That's just a couple of spring onions. And they'll keep their colour and their crunchiness. They're not wanting them really cooked. I'm going to give that a wee minute. A wee minute and then we'll start to let that cool down. Oh, it smells amazing. Absolutely bloody gorgeous. Hope you can see, hope you are getting a decent bit of light and you can see everything that's going on. So I think I'm actually going to call that a day. I think I'm going to call that a day. And we'll let it start to cool down. Probably take a good half hour, maybe an hour to cool down. Or maybe transfer it into a bowl and it'll maybe cool down a bit quicker. And I might just leave it in the wok. I don't know, pardon me. Get all our condiments away back in the cupboard. Our soy sauce, our chilli sauce, our Chinese spicy grinder, our salt, our pepper. I don't need any of this anywhere. The less clutter on the worktop the better. Nice clean area, free of stuff. Apart from my wee nibbles, my monkey's nuts, my peanuts, my old prawn crackerunios. Right folks, I'm going to call that a day and turn the heat off. I'll give you a wee swatch at how we're looking. I hope you can see that. Hopefully you can see that and it's not out of focus and dark, but if it is, it is. I'll get it out there. It looks really nice. It smells amazing. It really does smell amazing. As I say, I could even have that on chips right now. Just cook up a big plate of chips and get tore in. Right, we're going to turn that off. Move that out of there. And we'll let it cool. So when I get back to you, we'll be making one spring roll just to see if it turns out. As I say, if it doesn't turn out, then game's a bogey. I'm throwing in the towel and I'll just use this for something else. Right folks. Right folks, we're back. We're back. So that's we're filling. I let it cool down a wee bit and then stuck it in the freezer. It's still not really cold, but it's cold enough. There's our homemade wraps. So we'll see how they work. But they look not too bad. Some of them are a wee bit thick, but we'll see what happens. So we've got the fryer on. The fryer's heating up, 160, 165. And I think we'll sit yours there. You should be able to see everything that I'm doing. Slide the kettle there a wee bit. We'll stick that there. We'll stick that there. We've got our glue, a wee bit of floury glue. Don't know if you can see that. Let's do this. We'll sit there. That's what we'll do again. We'll sit in there. Right. So as I say, no idea how these are going to work. Some of them are a wee bit small, but we'll do our best with them. That's all we can do. Right, so I'm going to go with about a tablespoon worth, maybe 2 tablespoons worth of filling. I think we'll get 1 and a bit tablespoons. Right, that's 1 and a bit. And we'll slide it down a wee bit. A wee bit of kitchen paper, I think. A bit of kitchen paper. Right. And we'll just roll. We'll pull it a wee bit towards me to get it a wee bit tight. Right, we'll fold the edges up. And then roll. Oh, I don't know about this at all. I do not know about this at all, folks, but let's just try it anyway. Let's try. Let's see what we can do. I say I'm just going to make one to see how we go. Get a wee bit of, it's already coming apart. Look, coming apart already, so that's never a good sign. Right. Get in there, you bugger. This could be a total disaster. It could be a total disaster, folks. Right, that's one. Kinda. I'm going to leave that for a wee second. Leave it for a wee second for the glue to dry, but I've got a feeling it's going to be a total disaster, this, folks. I've got a feeling this isn't going to be one of my finest moments. We'll let the fryer heat up anyway. I'm going to try and tuck them in a wee bit at the ends. What we don't want is anything flying out the ends. So I'll just tuck them in a wee bit. We shall see. We'll give it a go anyway, yeah? So, that's one. Looks not too bad, but who knows. Keep everything clean. As I say, some of them are bigger than I think. The idea is wanting the bigger ones. But we'll see. So we'll let the fryer heat up. By the time the fire heats up, the wee bit of glue should be dry, hopefully. I'm just giving that a good tuck in there. Trying to get it tucked in, but it's not happening for me, folks. It's not happening for me. We shall see. I'll just do one. We'll see see how we go. See how we go with one. As I say, if that one doesn't turn out, I'll try another one, and then what I'll just do is with the rest of this is I'll just heat it up and have it with noodles. Why, we shout out to Mr. Red. Beryl the Peril was out the hospital at last. She's been in there for ages, so I'm sure he's over the moon, and I'm sure we'll have some cooking videos maybe in the next week or two for him. We shall see. We shall see. It's not looking great at all, but I'm trying to get it tucked right in there. The glue seems to be drying. I'm quite happy about that. I wonder if I should put that in the fridge for a minute now. No bother. We'll let the fryer heat up and we'll get it right in there. So when I get back to you, the fryer will have heat up and I'll be doing my first spring roll. Right, the fryer is hot, so let's try and do this. I'm going to lift the basket out, put that in there and drop it in gently. I'm expecting it to burst open and leave a total mess in my fryer. That's what I'm expecting to happen. So expect to see bits of carrot and bits of prawn and bits of cabbage floating about shortly. I'm going to get the old tongs of joy out. I'm going to sit them on the grill pan. Get the grill pan out. Sit them on the grill pan to chill out when I take it out the fryer. So far, nothing's leaking out the sides, so that's a good sign. But we'll see what happens. I'm going to get about 5 minutes, 3-5 minutes. I need to remember all the inside's cooked. It's just the wrap, the homemade wrap, should I say, as well. As I say, that's the first time I've made these. So we shall see. Still nothing busting out, so I'm quite happy about that. I'm going to lift it up a wee bit and check it. Oh, that's looking actually quite good so far. But oh, we've got an edge opened up, we've got a side opened up, so hopefully nothing comes out. I think I can get maybe 2 or 3 in there at a time, if this works. If this works out, I'll need to try and wrap them better. It's my wrapping skills that are lacking. I'm quite happy, none of these stuck together, they're all single. So that's quite good. But it's definitely opened up at this side. But nothing's spilling out, so that's quite good. So as long as nothing spills out, I'll still be quite happy. actually looks quite good by the way, but apart from that side that's opened up. I'll give you a wee look. You can see that side's opened up. That side hasn't, but that side definitely has. But as I say, nothing's busting out, so that's quite good. Hope you can see I've got a lamp here. I've moved the lamp. I've got the phone on top of an old paint can for a bit of height. It's quite scary making something. I've made spring rolls before, but in the phyllo pastry. I've never had to make my own spring roll wraps before, so that's a new thing for me. So it's always a wee bit scary. But I'm glad that's the glue seems to have worked, and it's the actual seams kept closed. But this has annoyed me. This has severely annoyed me. Severely annoyed me. Oh, see that sizzling? That's not a good sound. That's the sound you get when things are busting out. But I can't see it and bust it, so we'll just leave it. We'll just leave it, and we'll get another couple of minutes. Get a bit of. See if we can get a wee bit of colour, a wee bit of golden brown, textured like sun. See if we can get a wee bit of golden colour on it. But see, to be honest, I'm actually quite happy with that. If only that side hadn't burst out, I'd have been over the moon with that. If that fucking side hadn't burst open. I was actually going to fill the wok with the oil, because I could have done about 3 or 4 at a time in the wok. I could maybe get a baby 3 in here. In fact, I could probably get a baby 1. I could probably get 6. I could probably get 6 in the wok. See, we're getting wee bubbles, wee sputterages coming out that burst seam there. I'm not happy with that at all. Not at all. I'm happy with that. But we're getting a wee bit of colour. Aye. As I say, at least nothing's burst out and it's not made a mess in my fryer. At least I'm not looking at a fryer full of carrot and cabbage now. And we'll just leave it and see what happens. But I think after this I'll do another few anyway, because I'm quite happy with that. Apart from that seam, I'm quite happy with that. I just need to make sure I'm getting it tucked in more. That's where the problem lies. I might put less filling in. Maybe too much filling. Who knows? But I'm actually reasonably happy with that. I'm going to get another minute. As I say, we're just cooking the wrap, because the inside's cooked. Lots of bubblage. Yeah, I'll be close up there. Got nice wee bubbles on the outer texture of the spring roll. I'm going to say that's a bit done. Let's get a wee bit more colour if we can. See if we can get a wee bit more colour on it. That's annoyed me, that. That's really annoyed me, because that might have been perfect without that. I would have been over the moon with that. Yeah, I'm going to, apologies again folks, and I'll get back to you when that's ready. Right, we're back. I think I'm going to call it a day with that one, folks. And it feels really crispy. I'm going to let any off, because I'm guaranteed there's oil in there. That, I'm actually really happy with that. Apart from that end stayed perfect. I don't know if you can see that end there, that's perfect. Right, and I'm going to get it onto kitchen paper, and I'll give you a wee look at it. Right, so that's my first. You can see some nice wee bits of bubblage on the outer texture. Sadly, that's the bit that opened up, if you can see, but nothing came out, so that's a good sign. So I'm actually quite happy with that. I'm going to listen. Hear that? That's absolutely. I'm actually really happy with that. Right, let's get another couple triple on the go and see if we can do better. We'll leave it in there. Let's see if we can do a bit better. I might actually just drop the next one or two in. I think I'll go for two. See if I can. So there's my wraps. You can see they're quite see-through, they're quite thin. So we'll go the kind of ovally shaped so we can get a bit of foldage. I might go for less stuffing. I might try and go for less stuffing. That might have been the but you don't want hardly any stuff. You want some stuffing in there. Get a prawn in that one. Because that's where the... Right, see if that'll do us right. We'll try this. Can't bloody... Right, we'll try this, folks. Right, get that folded up like that. Give that a wee push. We'll get that folded right up as far as we can get it. Right. Right. And we'll get a bit of the old glue in there. See, maybe I should glue the sides down as well. I think that's what I'm going to maybe do. A wee bit of glue on there, and a wee bit of glue on there, and maybe a wee bit of glue in each side. See if that makes any difference, right? Just dipping the spoon in and getting a bit of wipage. Bit of wipage on the outside. The glue's just flour and water, that's all that is. Right, let's try this. Let's try this again. Let's get that up there like that. And let's... It's a bit fidgety, I'm not going to lie. It's fidgety, folks, very fidgety. Right. I just don't think this is going to happen for me. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put a wee bit of glue in there. I'm really happy with that one, really happy with this. I think I'm going to have to try and use less filling. I think that's the only way it's going to work. We'll see what happens. I'm holding this tight, there's the old phone going. I'm holding this tight to get it glued. It's looking a wee bit better. Quite happy with these wraps, but I'm not going to lie, I would like them bigger, because if I can get them bigger, then you've got more room to manoeuvre. I might even trim one down into a square shape and try that. What do you reckon, Sarge? Two to your toes. What do you reckon, Trace? What do you reckon, Mr. Red? Anybody that's watching? Remember, leave a wee comment where I went wrong, what I should have done, what I shouldn't have done. Right, I think I'm going to drop that in. I'm going to just make sure it's pushed in there with my pinky. I think we're going to just go for it. That's it in. That one will probably burst open now, just for the hell of it, just to piss me off. So I'm just going to go for one at a time, I think, folks. It's a bit late in the day to start filling the wok up with oil. I'll get these closer. So I'm not going to move it, I'm just going to leave it. Maybe that's where I went wrong. I gave that last one a wee sugar about, and maybe that's what made the end pop out. So we'll just leave that and see what happens. It's just too tempting to lift the basket to check. It's always a good sign that nothing's busting out the sides. That's a good sign for me. I'm quite happy with that. Or maybe day 2 next time. I think I'll go with less filling. See, you want bloody filling in there. What's the point of having a spring roll with no filling in it? Know what I'm saying? I'll just leave that. I might turn the oil up a wee bit. Turned it up a wee touch. Is that light one? Aye, it's on. Right, so far nothing's... Both ends look reasonably intact so far. This might be quite a good one, folks. Keep your fingers crossed. Right, I'm going to turn these off and I'll get back to these. Right, we're back again. So what I've done, I've took one of our wraps and I've kind of trimmed it into a kind of square shape with the pizza cutter. If I'm honest, this one's looking absolutely fantastic so far. I'll use a wee swatch. So I'm going to try and see if it's any better doing it like that angle. Right, I'll get these closer to the action. But I think maybe making them square could be the answer. Who knows? So I say it's a wee bit of a learning curve for me using homemade wraps. Homemade spring roll wraps. Right, I'm going to... You probably can't see it in the fryer, but none of the sides have came apart. I'll lift it out, see if you can lift it out gently. There, look at that. But if you can see that, we're getting bubblage and none of the sides have split. So we just gently does it. So I'll get back to you folks when that one's done. And it's making number 3. Right, we're back again. I think I'm going to call it a day on this. This one's looking, I'd say the best so far. I've only made 2. But big improvement even for the last one, for the first. We're getting a bit of nice colour. I'll get a wee few seconds and we'll get it out. And we'll try this. We'll try this square. Getting a wee bit of shadow for the handle. We'll try this square one we've made and see if there's any difference. But I'm actually really happy with this one. Really happy. If they all turned out like that, I'd be over the moon. No lies. I think moving the basket all the time causes a bit of relief. I've had to have a wee smoke on the old vape because I'm stressed at the minute. Wee bit of smoke. Oh, wee bit of smoke for Sarge. I think we'll call that a day. Actually really happy with that. Really happy. I say if they all turned out like that, I'd be over the moon. Be jumping for joy, but we'll try this. If this square one works out any better, I'll just trim them all down into square shapes. Get the old tongs and we'll get her out. If you can see that, I'll get you there to the grill pan where I've got them draining on kitchen paper. Oops. Right, so that's number 2. That's number 2 done, folks, and I think you'll agree that's a big improvement for number 1 already. But the only problem was that collar came apart. But I think you'll agree that's looking lovely. Nice and crispy again. There's our seal. Both sides are nothing burst, nothing hanging out. So we'll have a wee go at filling the square wrap. Right, and we'll see how that works out. Hope you can see that. Right, let's try this. we'll do it at an angle. Right. We'll go with a big spoonful, a big tablespoonful. I wonder if I should glue it again. But no, I'm going to glue it again. Just a wee bit of glue. Wee bit of glue, and we'll get a wee bit of glue on here. Next time we'll do two at a time for the next one. Right, so let's fold, and roll. And I think the square shape's already feeling better, to be honest. See that wee corner there's popped out. Really fidgety, really fidgety. Right, we'll let that glue set a wee second. So I don't know what's best. I don't know what's best, the circle or the square. To be honest, I'm not sure. We'll just do another one at a time then. But I'm really happy with that one. Really happy with that. Over the moon with that, in fact. I'm not going to lie, actually over the moon with that last one. Oh, pardon me. You can see it's just not looking very tight, but we'll see. We shall see. Leave it a wee second. A wee bit. Leave these there now. Try and do two next. I think that's the glue set. Oh, see that's flipped up there. Don't like when it flips up. We'll just go for it. We'll go for it, folks. We're going to go for it anyway. I'm not sure. We'll see how this turns out. But that last one was circle and I managed it. So we might just stick with the circle shape. Right, we'll cut this in, I think. Right, that's it in. That's it in the fryer. So far so good. So I see I've turned the heat up a wee touch. Just a wee touch, a wee smidgen. But I'm actually quite happy with these wraps. My pan, see I made them in a frying. When I looked at folk making them last night, they were using a huge big pan especially for this. I was using an old frying pan with a sugary handle and the non-stick wearing away on it. So I didn't need your tools in it. The right pan for the right job always helps. Always helps. I think we'll just do one at a time. I should maybe have filled the wok and we could have got away with doing 4 and 5 at a time. We'll see how this goes. Right, I'll get back to you folks. Right, we're back again, my folks, and this one's looking decent as well. This is the one that I made with the squared off the edges, just turned the edges into maybe a square shape, but it's held together and it's golden up, it's getting nice gold. I'm going to get a wee few seconds and get it out. So that's number 2 and 3 have held their shape. That was only the first one, was the one that one side kind of came away. So a trial and error, isn't it? As I say, I've turned the fryer up a wee touch extra heat on the fryer. I think that'll do that. Get a wee second. And we'll get in with the tongs. Tongs are a great wee help in the kitchen. Everybody needs a set of tongs. These aren't really cooking tongs, I think these are ice tongs for putting ice into your G&T, but they do the job. They definitely do the job. Oh, pardon me. Oh, pardon me. Right, folks, I think that'll do that. That's a good 5 minutes, I think, 4 or 5 minutes. Say again, the inside's cooked. You remember the inside's cooked, so it's really just the wrap, the outer wrap you want to be cooking, getting it crisp. Oh, these are looking really nice. That one's looking absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. But that phyllo pastry really annoyed me. So that I've got 3 more. I've got 2 more in the freezer. So I might just bin them as well, if they're just all going to be all crumbly and falling apart on me. Bloody disgrace. Right, folks, I think that'll do that. Oops. I'll let the oil drain out a wee bit. And I'll give you a wee swatch. Don't know if you can see that for there. I'll give you a wee swatch on the actual pan, the grill pan, where I've got them draining on kitchen paper. Right, that's number 3. I'll give you a wee look. That's number 3, folks. It's probably out of focus. There's no light on this side as well, so we'll just need to put up with it. But sides are intact, the seam's intact, so that's good enough for me. So let's get number 3 on the go. I don't know what to do, whether I should square up the edges or just leave it round. We'll go for another round one. We'll try another round one and see what happens. That's what we'll do. I've decided. Right, let's get a good spoonful of our filling. Another wee touch. I'm trying to make sure everyone's got a couple of prawns in it. I can't bloody see the prawns. This filling's really lovely, by the way. I had a big bloody spoonful before I put it away to cool. Right, that's plenty. That's plenty filling. A bit of kitchen paper. I'm wondering if I should glue this out. I might actually do that. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try and get a wee bit of glue on the side before I even roll it. A wee bit of the old glue, and we'll see if that makes any difference. And we'll get a bit of glue on the top. I'm just dipping the back of the spoon in the bowl and getting a bit of glue on the back of the spoon and then spreading it. Right, let's see what we can do with number 4, sorry. number 4. Right. And I think we'll get a wee bit of glue there, and a wee bit of glue there. Just a wee scraping of the glue, not much. Right. Hope you can see what I'm doing. I hope you can see. Right. It's really, really tricky this, I'm not going to lie. That's looking not too bad. I'm trying to get the roll as tight as I can as well. Right, that's not too bad. I'll get that wee bit, see that wee bit's come away there. Really, really fidgety. Really, really, really fidgety. I'm actually going to hold the side up just to let it glue. Let that glue set. Doing it with the phyllo pastry is much easier, I've got to say that. I've got to admit it. The phyllo pastry is much, much easier. Much easier. I think the next time I'm going to go square again. I think we'll go square. Might just square them all up in fact. Right, let's drop this in. I'm going to have to throw it this time, the basket. And voila. And we'll just wrap it in, folks. I'm going to give that a wee pinch. A wee pinch. Right, tail bit's going in. It's in. It's in, folks. It's in the fryer. I've dropped it in. It could fall apart, could burst, who knows. Who knows what's floating. So that one, see, the problem with that is it's not been as tight as the other two, the other three. There's been a wee bit of air in there. That's what's happened with that. That's what's definitely happened with that. Well, having said that, see when you see folk making them, there's all floats. So they can just turn it. There we go, we've turned it. We'll just need to turn that a couple of times, but I preferred how the other ones just sank. And I didn't need to bother turning. We'll see how this goes. We'll get back to these, folks. Right, folks, that one was giving me hassle floating, no wanting to turn. So what I've done is I've just sat the tongs on it to keep it under the oil, and I'll get back to you when that one's done. It should work. I'll give you a wee look. I've just lifted the tongs on it, a wee bit of ingenuity, just to keep it under the oil, so I've not got to keep flipping it about all the time. Right, I'll get back to these. Right, folks, that's number 4 done. That's number 4. But actually looks more impressive than the other 3. So I've done 4, so I think what I'm going to do now, I've trimmed up this one, I'm going to try another square one. I've got plenty of filling left, look at all that filling. So I'm just going to do the rest myself, and I'll get back to these when they're all done. Right. Right, folks, we're back again. I've got 4 prepped up, ready to go in. I've got 1 wrap left. I've got that wee bit of mixture left. I've got a kind of dodgy one I don't know if I'm going to put in. And that's what I've made so far. I think you'll agree, they look pretty good. I'm actually quite happy with them. They 2 are looking really good as well. That was my last 2. That big one's looking lovely. So I'm going to leave these again, and I'll get back to the fryer. Aye. Really happy with him. Right folks, we're back again for the last time. That's where spring rolls all made up. Get what? 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And there's a wee bit of filling for another one, so I could have got 13, but I'd run out of wraps. So I hope you'll agree that they look pretty damn good for my first attempt at making spring roll wraps and making spring rolls in my own spring roll wraps. That's the only one that came apart a wee bit, that one there. You can see that one. That wee end popped out. But the rest of them, I'm really over the moon. I'm really over the moon with them. Look at that. Look at that. Hope you can see them. Hope it's in focus. Hope there's enough light, because you need to see them. So what I'm going to do later on is, when I get in later, I'll take my wife a few of these round, take her in a wee bit of sweet chilli sauce, and she can bung them in the oven. And that's what I'll be doing later. I'll be bunging a few of these in the oven and having them later. But my main problem was basically my wraps. As I say, it was my first attempt at making mine spring roll wraps. They were just a wee tiny touch too thick, and that's what caused problems trying to roll them and fold them in. Rolling them was no bother, it was just folding in the edges that was the problem. So in future I need to try and get the wraps a wee bit thinner, and they would have been perfect. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. So hope you all have a lovely weekend folks. Friday night. Weekends are flying in. The nights are drawing in. And I'm going to leave yous. With that lovely view. Look at that. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, look at that. This has been a long one. An hour and 2 minutes, an hour and 3 minutes, oof, over the hour, God's sake. Right folks, enjoy, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll get back to you on the next one. Adios.